Welcome to DS Trucks. Today we're going to be working on our plow in the shop. Pretty much another day at the office. We're going to be doing some hose repairs on our plows. We got the Fisher XLS here, and let's see. We've got our Fisher XLS plows here. We've had to work on these. Let me get some more light up in here. This shop's kind of weird. I gotta turn on the lights over here. But we've got this Fisher XLS where we had to replace some hoses here on this plow, and you can see that I've got new hoses here that are on the plow. Essentially, I'm turning this into like a Western because it's too hard to find the Fisher parts in my area, so I'm like having to get the Western hoses. The lengths are a little different, but it honestly works better to have this hose way up out of the way like it is, and it's not rubbing on any sharp edges, which is going to be better. So this plow, I'm going to actually do it the same way and put the same setup with the hoses, because I'm starting to get like a little chafing when you look down in there on the hose. And last thing I need is this hose to blow out on me like that one did in the middle of a huge snowfall. So we got some snow coming. I'm going to replace all these hoses and pretty much just do a video of that today. So in today's video, you're going to get some long driving with the F450, because I got to even travel far to even get Western parts nowadays. It's like these snowplow dealers are just closing up shop. So that's what we're going to be doing. This is a look at our salt bin. We got about 30 tons in here right now of salt ready to go for an event tonight. Got the track loader here that we rented out for the winter. All our snow blowers are lined up over here. And the 350 is in the shop right now loaded. I'm going to be working in here, and it's kind of nice because I got a TV in here, and it's like a podcast setup. So I could play podcasts and listen to that while I'm working. And that's nice. But I'm actually going to turn up the heat because I keep the heat pretty low, 50 degrees. I'm going to turn it up to like 60, which is a good working temperature. And when I leave, I'm also going to turn on that fan to push some of the heat down. And I'll that just circulates the air, because I don't have no ceiling fan in here or nothing. So this, and like a medium speed if I'm not in here. It's noisy, so I'll turn it down a little if I'm in here. But yeah, just gonna go ahead and get on the road. The 450 is parked outside. I got 38K on the truck now, and got a long drive ahead of us, so can't really complain about having to make that long drive. If I went with a different type of plow, I'd be able to find a dealer closer, but not a bad deal though when I'm making those treks out there. But anyway, see you guys once we're on the road. All right, pulling out of the shop. Hard to believe that I've already gotten 39,000 miles on this truck. Admittedly, I'm a little bit overdue on the maintenance of the other components, which is not a good thing to be doing. I mean, it's time to do like every fluid on this thing, and I probably should have did that 10,000 miles ago, so at minimum. And not to mention, for the type of work that we do, it probably should have been done freaking annually. So my bad on that, but it will get done soon here. But anyway, headed out. Let's plug in our GPS. Let me get that going, and I'll see you once we're actually rolling here. All right, getting ready to roll out here, and I just wanted to take a second to get everything kind of set up. This Android Auto is really nice. It sets me up with, different routes that I can take. So now I can see, the two different options on routes to take, which is nice to have. Looks like somebody's coming down here. Someone's behind me, and I'm just sitting here messing around with stuff. And yeah, it gives me two different routes that I can take, which is nice. And I have to say, like, I've said it many times, but I'll say it again. This is the best Ford truck that I've had. I'm glad that they've they've listened to the client for sure. They've listened to the client for sure with the release of this truck. The only negatives, which I haven't actually experienced anything bad from it per se, but the emissions are getting more strict, and the sound of the engine's a little more muffled. It's doing a little more exhaust filtering, which I like the other emissions a little better, just from the fact that you did hear the engine a little more than you hear it now. Aside from that, I haven't had any problems out of the new emissions, so I can't, complain too much about it. But the fact that they listen to so many things, I don't know if they've been watching my channel, because there's so many little things that I've complained about that they've actually addressed. One thing that I was complaining about over the years with these trucks is the rear heated seats. Like, they're butt only for the rear heated seats, and they previously were. Now apparently, I haven't sat back there to know, but everyone's been telling me that not only is the heated seats in the butt and the back seat, it's in the butt and the back. I don't know. We've gotten to the point now where we know that we like our heated seats on our backs, so why would you put the heated seat on the butt only like they've done in the past with the other models? I made a video complaining about that, and they've actually put the heated seat element in the back and the butt. So did they see it from me, or did other people complain? It's a very minor complaint, but nonetheless, it is solved. Another thing is the radio. Like, every time I used to get out of this truck and walk away from it, it used to blast the radio when it lost Bluetooth connection, which was so annoying. Like, Bluetooth is on, it loses connection, and it just turns the volume up so much higher, and it just plays some random station. And it would, like, if I'm out here in the night servicing clients and I walk away from the vehicle, if it's running, which I do that, and it starts blasting music, that would be such an issue. But on this truck, when it loses the Bluetooth connection, it doesn't just turn the volume up on some random option, because like with the Bluetooth, the volume would have already been at a higher level for some reason compared to the radio. So it would switch to the radio and the volume would stay where the Bluetooth was, but it would just blast. So it was just, I'd have to run back to the truck and turn it off. So in the nighttime at 1 in the morning, my truck's not going to blast the radio because it lost the Bluetooth connection, because I walked away 10 feet. So that was one of those things that I put in a video and complained about. And I don't know if I'm the only one complaining about little stuff like that. I've made that video where I sat up there and picked out every little freaking issue that I had with the truck and put it in a video. And literally on this truck, they have corrected every little issue that I had. Every little gripe and every little issue, the little stuff, they've actually listened to the client, whether it's from me or whether it's from just a cumulative effect, or do they have somebody that drives it and experiences the product to fix these little weird issues, because a lot of the little weird problems have been fixed. The seats on this, I don't have the best seats, the max recline seats and all the fancy stuff in the seats, but I've not sat in a more comfortable vehicle for the extended periods of time than this one. This is the most comfortable seat that I've ever used, and it's just a basic lariat seat, but I've been like sitting in this thing for 24 hours straight, and it is the best seats that I've ever really used. Most comfortable, the best seats that I've ever used. So very happy with the truck. Very few complaints. One thing that's wrong right now with it is the ambient air temperature is off. It's saying 48 degrees outside, and it's like 28 degrees, and it's just been all over the place, throwing crazy numbers. So that's something that I might have to replace on the truck, the ambient air temperature sensor. So that might make a cool video, but that could have been fixed under warranty, but it is not covered anymore. But yeah, I mean, pretty happy with this truck overall. This is probably going to be, hopefully it'll be a keeper for a while. The aluminum on these trucks tends to hold up better than the other brands, and the painted frames, the e-coated painted frames, is some of the best paint processes for steel that you can really get. I mean, think about like our dump trailer and all that stuff where it's rusting, but the frame on this truck, I mean, you'll get a little bit of rust on the welds, but nothing structural at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play on my podcast and get over there to Bostic. And I'm just going to enjoy this drive. This thing is just a pleasure to drive, especially when I got the plow off of it. 1,000-pound freaking plow, no load of salt. I just got the empty spreader back there. I'm going to take it up to Bostic, get these couple of hoses, and see you guys once I get there. All right, just leaving a parts store. Place is called Bostic Truck Equipment. And pulling out. This place is pretty cool. Probably the best Western part dealer in the area. I'm gonna actually loop it around because there's some activities going on. I don't even want to back up over there. So if I go over here, let's see how the 450 turns. That turning radius. Can it swing it? Bang it out. Swings out that turn, no problem. These guys are getting loaded. I don't even want to mess with them. Have to tuck the back end over there. But yeah. Headed home now. Gonna pop home for a quick lunch. And then be back to work. But I was just driving here today, and just the drive was great. This thing, I don't know what these tires, sometimes it feels like they're out of balance, but I don't know if it's just the design or the suspension where you can feel just every bump in the freeway if it's got a washboard type of a asphalt. But today everything was just smooth. Everything was. They got this place across the street too where they got some push boxes. Pretty cool. But everything was just smooth and just rode good, and was pretty happy with how the trip went. But I'm gonna go ahead. Maybe I'll reset the trip fuel for you guys. Trip 1, 10.5 for the last 3,000 miles. Let's reset it. 10.5 miles per gallon. Wow, it's terrible. But we're going to reset it now and just drive, and I'll see you guys once we get home, and we'll see how the MPG was. See you guys back at the house. All right, so just popping in and taking a look.
Police reported ahead.
Oh, police reported. Okay, police are ahead. So I'm popping in. We're about 11 miles into this, and we're at 14.9 miles to the gallon. And you can see our speed's about 70 the whole way. Hopefully that's not illegal because the police are ahead. But you can see how calm and relaxed this drive is. Like the steering and everything is very calm. Nothing's vibrating or shaking, which is a huge issue with these trucks. There's the cops right there. Somebody got in some trouble. Probably this diamond lane stuff where you gotta have so many people in order to drive in the diamond lane. I don't know why they came up with that rule, that you gotta have a number of passengers to ride that lane. Kind of weird of a rule. Like why do you need to have more passengers to ride that lane? Kind of silly. But nonetheless, we are almost there. So I'm curious to how much MPG is going to be able to achieve driving at these real world speeds. 55, I could probably get 55 miles per hour. I could probably get 20 plus. But anyway, I guess I'll touch base once we get to the next location. Okay, and just made it home. 16.3 miles to the gallon, roughly 70 miles an hour, and 37 minutes, 35 miles. So that gives you an idea of what type of MPG you can expect. I'm about to pop in the house, have lunch, and I'll be back at the shop. All right, just made it back to work and got a load of salt there, a pallet of salt to load up. Got some carry out. I ended up finding nothing at home to eat, so I got carry out. And I'm going to go ahead and load this stuff up into the shop and install these hoses. See you guys in the shop. inside of the shop, and this is what we're working on. I am going to be changing out these hoses. This is going to be the set that I change. All this is going to go away. This is my attempt at protecting it over the last 5-6 years, but that's going away now, and we are going to be just rerouting all this. It did last a good long time, but yeah, I mean, I could have just probably went back with the OEM, but I'm going to change the routing around. We'll see. This is how it looks now, and I'll show you kind of how it looks after. But I'll go ahead and get these installed, show you how it looks after, and the podcast is on TV. Some Sean Ryan show. Anyway, see you guys once it's on. So this is what I ended up with. I got my hoses routed like so. The plow, I checked it. It moves real good in all positions. I still got to trim these zippies off of here. But I just went crazy with the heavy-duty zip ties, like so. You can see that there's just a bunch of them on there. And I put some of that high test tape on there that will prevent that zip tie from cutting into the hose. But these hoses were a little too long. But I ended up working it out kind of sweet. I think I just going this way and then looping around and going up and then tying into the pump motor. Pretty slick. Got a real good range of motion, honestly, just from doing it like this. I can power it up real fast so we can see how it looks. Quick crank of the key. Shut the volume off. Roll the window down. If you're ever looking for a place to hold a snowplow controller, right there on your grab handle, just put the cord through like that. Power it on. And we'll see kind of how that looks when it goes up. If I can work both of these. The hose is totally free and clear. Kept running into an issue when I did this with this hose ending up in this pinch point. But I ended up taking it loose and rerouting it. Now it's just real sweet. Nowhere near touching anything where it can just be abrasive and cause friction and wear, and it'll eventually wear through. So I still got to do the other side, but that'll be at a later date. But yeah, working good. Another adjustment I made off camera is I got the A-frame real nice and level with the ground. So as you can see with these 35-inch tires, I've got the plow in its lowest setting that can accommodate, tires. So this is the tallest you can run one of these plows unless you feel like doing some heavier modification to the actual plow. So anyway, hopefully this storm, we got one coming a couple inches tonight. Hopefully there's no casualties, but I'm gonna wrap this video up now. Thank you for watching DS Trucks. Stay tuned. I'm gonna try to film on this next snowstorm, but anyway, see you guys in the next video. Over and out.